Today, I'll be covering foundations, service delivery, and client acquisition for our 137K a month agency. So let's first dive into foundations, which consists of our offers and our team. So for our offers, we have three main offers we run for our agency. The first one is pay-per lead, and this is where we bill our clients on each qualified lead that we get them, and we bill them on a 2-week basis for this. And this is a good one if you're just getting started, and most of our earlier clients are on pay-per-lead, and this is more of a pay-as-you-go basis. But you can also do it where you bill upfront for all of the leads, and you do that on like a monthly basis. So there's not really a correct way to do it, but I love the pay-per-lead offer because it's easier to get your foot in the door, and it's a great offer that everyone loves. So that is a pay-per-lead offer, and we only have a few clients on that still. And our next one is percentage of ad spend. And this is where you take a percentage based on how much you spend on a monthly basis with your clients. And I love this particular offer for bigger clients because it'll allow you to make more money as you continue to scale up with your bigger clients. So a lot of our bigger clients are on this specific offer. And then lastly, we have a standard retainer. And this is more so for our smaller clients. And I still love the standard retainer because it's consistent monthly recurring revenue every single month. And a lot of people hate on it, but it's just consistent income in which you make on a monthly basis for your smaller clients. And it's not really that bad. I love it to have a few clients on standard retainer. The biggest thing in all of this is to not just have one standard offer. The way to maximize the amount of money that you make on a monthly basis is to diversify your offers into a few. If you just have one offer, you won't be able to speak to everyone within your niche, and you won't be able to grab that market share that you want for your specific niche. So the reason we do a few different offers is because not every single client likes one specific offer, and many different clients have different preferences. So this will allow you to capture a bigger market share and make the most money possible for your specific niche. So just make sure that you diversify across a few different offers if you're trying to scale up fast and efficiently within your niche. But these are three offers that are generally proven across any specific niche. So definitely give these ones a try and definitely diversify your offerings across a few different ones in order to maximize the amount of money you make. So that's generally what we do for offers. We don't like to complicate it. We like to keep it simple and just have general different offers for our niche in order to maximize the amount of money that we make. So now let's go into team, because the team is the most critical part in terms of how we are able to be so successful today and actually get good results at scale. So let's dive into team. So for our team, we hire out a lot differently than you see a lot of agencies do on a daily basis, right? So we hire out more so for our marketing team rather than our sales team, right? So what we do is we handle all the sales calls ourselves, and we hire more into our marketing team, because if we have the best service delivery in the market, everyone's going to be wanting to come to us, and we're going to be able to take that much more market share because we have the best service delivery on the market. Whereas most marketing agencies, they'll focus on all sales and everything like that, but they will have an awful service delivery for their clients, and clients will be constantly leaving them, and then they'll be needing to constantly get new clients. Whereas we can retain our clients for a long time, and that's where we make the most amount of our money, is because we retain our clients for a long time and scale up with our current clients because we have the best service delivery on the market. So let me dive into what we actually hire out for. So we have our media buyer, we have our copywriters, and then we have our video editors. And what our media buyer does is analyzes all the data across our different ad platforms, such as Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. And what they do is they communicate that data over to the copywriters and video editors to see if there are any improvements needed on the copy or the video editing aspects of everything, right? So our copywriters, what they do on a daily basis, they create new hooks to test on a daily basis. And they also create out scripts for that. And once they are done with those hooks and scripts, they send those over to the video editors to create videos out for our clients. So everything works in cohesion. So our media buyer is the forefront of it by launching all the ads and then getting all that data and communicating it over to the copywriters and video editors. And if they weren't able to work in cohesion, everything would be a complete mess and nothing would actually work out. So having these three critical parts to our team allows us to maintain great results at scale. And generally what you need to do beforehand, before you hire out, is make sure that you have a good basis on what to do in each of these specific areas, and then you can hire out for these. So like once you get to like the 30 or 40K a month mark is when it will get a lot harder for you to maintain good results at scale. And this is when you need to be hiring out a team. And without our team today, we'd be in a complete disarray. We'd probably be working like literally like 20 hours a day if we didn't have our team. And we wouldn't be as successful as we are today without our team, right? A team is critical in terms of scaling up to big numbers within your agency, and they'll just be able to help you create a lot more winners for your specific agency and allow you to have a lot better results for your clients if you have these specific members on your team. So what I recommend is focus on hiring out for your marketing product first, rather than sales. And what you'll do instead is take all the sales calls for yourself, and what you'll do is just not hire out any sales reps in the beginning, and then you'll be good because you'll be focusing on getting the best product on the market rather than focusing on sales and having a crap product, right? Because if you have a crap product, no one will stay with you long, and then all those sales that you do are meaningless. And a lot of clients value talking with a founder on the sales calls as well. And like, you don't need to really hire out any sales reps until you get to like a certain point. We still don't, right? Because we are just focusing on scaling up our current clients right now, and that's what our big focus is, and then dialing in our team even more. We're going to continue to hire out more people on our team so we can scale up to even bigger numbers with our clients, right? So the biggest thing is that you need to hire out for marketing rather than sales in the beginning, and you'll make your life so much easier doing this because you won't have clients constantly leaving you every single month. And you'll be focusing on having the best service delivery on the market, which is what I think a lot of agencies get wrong in today's day and age. So that's one critical aspect in which you need to cover within your team. So that pretty much covers the team aspect. So now let's go into service delivery, because without good service delivery, you will not be getting good results for your clients. So for service delivery, we have paid ads and then client communication. So let's first dive into paid ads. Now let's go into two different image ad templates that you guys can copy and customize for your niche, right? So let's go ahead and dive into that. So for the first one we have here is an iMessage template, and you can see it says, "Hey Sarah, your home qualified for the new 2024 solar program, which will eliminate your bill entirely, and installation costs will be covered completely by the state." And obviously I'm not in solar, so what you will have to do is make sure everything is compliant for your niche. I don't know if this is 100% compliant for the solar niche. I'm not in the solar niche. I just use solar as a prime example for all of my videos because solar is such a great niche as well, and it's proven, and it's a good one to be able to communicate like what I'm trying to do for our service delivery, right? So as for this one, you can do it for your specific niche. You'll just copy this template for your niche. It'll just be an iMessage template. You do it as like the viewer or the customer of your particular service that you're advertising for, right? The biggest thing is to make sure you have like the red box around this, and make sure to like figure out like what like they're actually getting from the service, and have that into here. So it can be like a 2025 roof replacement program, something like that, and then have that in there and be like, oh yeah, I got the roof for like $7,000 or whatever the offer is for your particular niche. And this is a great proven template that you can go and copy and customize for your particular niche. And on the right hand side, we have the notes template. And what you want to do is call out your target audience on the top with like a particular location, and then you say like looking for XYZ niche like homeowners, and then put like your offer right there, and then a call to action at the bottom. These two are both proven image ad templates. And if you want more winning ad templates for me, that's all done through my coaching program. So if you want to apply for coaching below, I'll put my Calendly below, and I'll be able to show you everything that's going on within our 7-figure agency and get you the help you needed to scale to 10K and then 100K a month within your agency as well. So that is like the image ad templates that I have shared for this video. But again, the four main types of ads that we see work really well on Facebook are image ads, UGC videos, AI voiceover videos, and AI UGC videos. And you'll be able to get good results if you diversify across a few different ones. So for example, if you have an image ad that does well or a notes image that does well, what you can do is go ahead and put that into like an AI voiceover video, AI UGC video, and see if it works well for that as well. But yeah, Facebook is our bread and butter, and it's where we're spending most of our money on a monthly basis. And even if it is saturated, it's for good reason, is because it's getting the best results for everyone on the market, right? So next I'll go into TikTok ads and how we utilize TikTok ads for our agency. So for TikTok ads, we don't really use it that much, but we use it for all of our winning ads from Facebook for additional volume for our clients. So we'll only use it for like our winning ads that we have on Meta, and we'll go and launch them on TikTok. And we found that this works really well because it's already proven to be like a winning ad. You just launch it on TikTok for additional volume, and it's a really good way to use TikTok. I probably wouldn't use TikTok as like your main advertising platform, just because the population sizes on all of it are a lot smaller than they are on Meta or YouTube, right? So I wouldn't use TikTok as like your main platform, just use it as additional like volume for your clients. And that is the best way to use TikTok, in my opinion, just for additional volume. So you can do what you will with that, but I would just use it for additional volume and just focus on learning Meta and perfecting Meta at first. And then lastly, we'll go into YouTube ads, because YouTube ads has been something that we've been testing a lot more on, because you can spend a lot of money on YouTube. But right now, our cost per acquisition is so much better on Meta than it is YouTube, but we're getting a lot closer. So like last month, we spent over like $1.5 million on YouTube ads, but the cost per acquisition was a lot higher than it was on Meta. So we scaled back down and are doubling our efforts on Meta now and just using YouTube more as like a supplemental volume source until we can crack it and get a really good cost per acquisition on it. But what's working really well on YouTube are UGC videos and AI voiceover videos. So those are two ones that you want to test if you were running YouTube ads. And generally, I'd still go broad on all these different platforms and just use YouTube and TikTok as like additional volume once you perfect and master Facebook ads. But I would just recommend doing Facebook ads as your main bread and butter like we do, because it delivers the best results and there's so many different people on that platform. But I think YouTube would be the second platform I would try to master as well. And that's just more so speaking on previous experience, because obviously there's people who probably get a lot better cost per acquisition than we do on YouTube, and that's their main source. And YouTube can definitely be your main source as long as like you really like fully crack down on it. But we're focusing more of our time on Meta, and that's probably why we're getting better results on Meta, just because we have more data on Meta. But YouTube is definitely a great source. There's a lot of people on that platform as well, so it's definitely a good option for you as well. But like I said, UGC videos and AI voiceover videos are doing really well on YouTube, so I'll definitely test those out as well. That covers the paid ads section of this. So now let's go into client communication, because without good client communication, your clients will leave you and you won't really know why they're leaving you. So let's go into client communication. So for client communication, the biggest thing is to always check in. In the beginning, I would do this like every single day, because you can't over communicate. And then once you get further along in the process and you really have your service delivery dialed, you can just do it on like a weekly basis. So this is an example of like a text that I got from my client this morning in terms of me checking in. So I wanted to check in to see if we could scale up some of the campaigns as well. And I wanted to see how everything was going within the past week. He said, "Thanks, Jack. Everything is going well." So that's a good sign. They said, like, "I think we're good with the volume we're getting right now. Not sure we can handle much more with just the two of us. I'll definitely let you know if that changes though. Thanks again for everything." So you just need to be constantly checking in. Some clients will like not really check in, and if you're getting bad results, it'll just end up leaving you. So the biggest thing is to check in, even if things are going well. So always check in, and that's the biggest thing in the beginning. And one additional tip that I have for you guys is to make sure that you set realistic expectations at the beginning and be honest with everything. Because if you lie and set unrealistic expectations, they're just gonna leave you anyway, and they'll be so mad at you by offering false promises. And that's not how you get good results as an agency, and that's not how you do everything on a good basis in terms of actually getting good results long-term at scale and making a ton of money within the agency space. It's all about honesty and getting good results for your clients. So that's the biggest thing in terms of client communication. But as long as you're constantly checking in with your clients, seeing like where you can improve, any adjustments that are needed, you'll be able to have a good relationship with your clients. But if you don't really do this and you go longer without checking in with them, well, you won't really realize why the clients are leaving you, because you can be thinking like, oh yeah, things are going good on like cost per lead side, but if they're not getting any conversion on the back end, or like things aren't going as well, or you're not delivering the types of leads that they want, those go ahead and leave you. So that is client communication. So now let's go into client acquisition. So for client acquisition, there are getting appointments and sales. And sales doesn't even matter if you're not even getting appointments for your agency. So let's first dive into getting appointments. Our bread and butter for getting appointments is paid ads. Paid ads are king and the easiest way for you to be able to get a ton of appointments onto your calendar without having to do much work. So paid ads are king. So on the right-hand side here, we have a specific example in which it's proven, so you can go and customize this and copy it for your specific niche. So in this one, we say, solar marketing is broken. Stop buying unqualified, low-quality leads. Get high-quality leads sent straight to your calendar for $175 per qualified lead, and then list like the different qualifications right there, and then have a call to action at the end. So this one would be more for like a pay-per-lead offer in which you're billing them up front for all of the leads. And the ad, when it says PS no ad spend, that's because the ad spend's baked into the cost of the qualified lead, right? So this is a good one that you can go and copy and customize for your niche. So you just be like, XYZ marketing is broken. So you could be like roofing marketing is broken, wealth management marketing is broken, and like whatever niche you are, just customize that to your niche and like customize it to like your specific qualifications right there. In the end, paid ads is going to be your best bet in terms of getting the most amount of appointments onto your calendar. But I understand if you're just beginning and you don't have as much money to invest into paid ads, you can definitely do cold email, because cold email is what allowed us to get our first few clients and allowed us to get to that 10 to 20K a month range. And then we diverted to paid ads. So cold email, what you'll want to do is use Instantly or SmartLead as in your automation platform in terms of sending out a ton of different emails on a daily basis. And then you want to scrape leads for your specific niche. And this is why it's so critical to niche down, so you can get really granular in terms of like who you're targeting on these cold email campaigns. So you want to scrape leads from like Apollo, ListKit, D7, or like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, they all work, and you just need to test out many different ones to see which one gets you the best results for your particular email campaigns. But cold email is a great way to automate the cold emailing process and get a lot more meetings onto your calendar without having to cold call a bunch or cold DM a bunch. So cold email will definitely be my second way to be getting a ton of appointments, because these are the main ones that allowed us to scale to 137K a month. So definitely do cold email if you're tight on budget, but that's also why I recommend having a job and everything while you're scaling up your agency as well. So that is pretty much getting the appointments. And then now it's going to sales, because if you have a lot of these appointments, but you're not closing anything, that's going to be a huge problem as well. So it's going to a framework I learned from Hunter Soroy in terms of actually being able to have like a framework for the sales calls, because you don't want to be doing like a bunch of different like scripts and everything on these sales calls. You just want to have a general framework so you can guide the call and do it how you want to. So the first step is understanding where they're currently at. So how many leads are they getting a month? How many deals are they closing a month? And then second, what you want to do is ask like where they want to go. Do they want to be at 30 leads a month, or they want like 10 deals closed, everything like that. You want to be able to like bridge that gap of like where they're currently at and like where they want to go. And the third step is uncover emotional drivers. So like if they got to that specific goal in which they wanted, like would it allow them to buy more trips for their family, live a nicer lifestyle in which they want, like, and things like that, to actually like uncover any emotional drivers in terms of like how bad do they really want it. And then fourth is like highlighting their need for help. If they keep doing what they're currently doing, do you think they'll get to like their goals in which they want? So, and most of the time they'll be like, no, I don't think what we're currently doing is working. So that's why I'm on this call, to be able to actually get a solution to be able to get to like where I want. And then once you have all four of these steps, then you can go into your pitch of like your service and your offering and like case studies and all of that, right? So that is a general framework I would follow in terms of these sales calls. And one more important thing in terms of all of this that will make your life so much easier on all of these sales calls is case studies. So without case studies, it's going to be so much harder for you to close a lot of clients, right? And the easiest way to get new clients is to have case studies. And this made my life so much easier, because I'm not a wizard at sales. I'm honestly not that great at sales, but case studies really allow you to be able to be confident on all these sales calls and avoid objections of like, oh yeah, have you done this before? Or how can you know this can work for me? Because if you have specific case studies, you can be like, oh yeah, like your particular situation is very similar to a client we worked with, and we got XYZ results for them, right? And the easiest way to get case studies is to offer test drives and free trials in the beginning if you're at 0 clients. And a lot of people hate on the free trial or test drives, but this is how I got my first few case studies. And without it, I probably wouldn't be as successful as I am today without those particular case studies, because having case studies will make your life so much easier. So just get case studies, do free trials or test drives in the beginning, get those, and it'll make your life so much easier on all these sales calls. So that is pretty much all I had today. If you got any value from this video, drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I'll drop my Calendly below. But that's all I had today, so get to work and peace.